everyone, Rachel Allen here. I'm delighted to be making the Herbalife Chocolate Orange Cake for this week, week 4 of the Herbalife Nutrition Cook-Along. So for this, we will need Rebuild Strength, we'll need 1 serving of that, we'll need 2 servings of PDM, and we'll need half a serving of F1 chocolate flavour or smooth chocolate. The smooth chocolate gives the cake frosting a really lovely creamy texture. So I will also need an apple. I'm going to make for this an apple sauce. So just use an eating apple and peel it. So basically you need 100 grams of apple sauce, and that works out pretty well as one quite small apple, so I won't need all of this. So peel it well. The oven, by the way, is preheated to moderate. There. Cut the apple into half and then into quarters. And you want to cook this, and this is going to bring the cake lots of lovely natural sweetness. So I'm going to cut the apple into just little chunks like that and pop it into a saucepan. There. Any leftover apple sauce you can enjoy with yogurt. It's really, really good. Delicious bit of stewed apple. There. So after you've cooked it, mash it up a little bit, like I'm going to do, and then keep the leftovers. So I'm using a sweet eating apple for this, so I don't need to add any sugar. Okay, I'm putting in a few little drops of water. About half to 1 tablespoon of water is good for this. Put the lid on and just turn on the hob. Turn the heat down to low and cook the apples for about 10 minutes until you get this really lovely soft apple sauce. Look at that. So that's it when it's cooked. It's all really nice and tender. And I have weighed out 100 grams of this for this cake. And this is cooled, okay? So cook that first. That's the first thing to get. Then, into your bits. There. Next thing I'm going to do now is to grate the zest of an orange. So this is going to give it a really lovely, intensely orangey chocolate flavour. So grate it using a little fine grater like this. And when you're grating the zest of the orange, it's a good idea just to grate down to where it's still quite orange in colour. If you grate down to where it's white in colour, that tends to be the bitter white pip. And you don't want that. You don't want the bitter flavour. So you just keep grating like this. Now, we have heard that the cookbooks have been selling like mad, which is fantastic. But if you want a cookbook, we've had lots of requests for cookbooks, you need to speak to your Herbalife Nutrition independent member to try and get a copy of the cookbook. Lots of delicious, delicious recipes in there, not just shakes and drinks, of course. Oops. There, I love the aroma of orange zest. So good. There. Also, we've had a couple of questions from members from the other cook-alongs. Claire was asking, look at what I noted my questions. Claire, you were asking if you can use a frying pan to cook the flatbreads, the wholemeal flatbreads that I cooked last week. Yes, you can, absolutely. I used a grill pan, but a frying pan will work perfectly too. And also, someone else was asking if you can use, rather than beetroot for the hummus, if you could use anything else to join in with the chickpeas. You could put a carrot in, a little bit of carrot. It can be quite watery, so not too much. So, look, I've got all the orange zest. There. I'm going to just put that now into this food processor. There. And I'm going to cut up the orange. I want to peel it. So just cut the top off and then peel it like this. So you've got the best lovely zesty bit, and now I'm going to get the juicy bit in there. I'm still laughing because my husband, the cameraman who's filming this, has just told me I look like Nora Batty with my headscarf on. Opinions, please. Oh well. I like it. It's summery. So I'm just going to make sure there are no pips in the orange. Nope, that's good. And then cut the orange up like that. Right, I just want to, oop, there's a pip. Got you. And then break it up. I'm going to blend it in the food processor. And you want to blend up all the little bits of orange. There. Take any of those bits out. Right. Okay, I'm going to add in now the applesauce, the 100 grams of applesauce, there, and the 2 eggs. I'm going to blend a little bit more because the orange hasn't been blended completely. 1, 2. Fantastic. Blend it again. Great. That's good. Now, before I add in the dry ingredients, what I just want to show you is the tin, because the tin needs to be prepared before you add the raising agent into the wet mixture. Otherwise, it'll just sit there and just get too heavy. So what I've got on here is I've got a little bit of olive oil, actually, or it could be a sunflower oil, just on a piece of kitchen paper, and I'm just oiling the sides of the tin. This is quite a small tin. It's a 6-inch tin, and you can use a springform tin, you know, with the sides that clip, or just like this. I sometimes make little Christmas cakes in this. And then I've got a little bit of gluten-free flour, because I'm using gluten-free flour in the cake anyway. So I'm using a little bit of gluten-free flour there, and I'm using this just to flour the sides of the cake tin to ensure the cake won't stick. So can you see like that? And it's really important that you prepare your tin properly when you're baking so that your cake looks lovely when it comes out. I've cut a round of parchment paper, and I'm just going to put that, or greaseproof paper, into the bottom, so that's the tin prepared. So now, into this mixture, I'm going to add the gluten-free flour. I've got 75 grams of gluten-free flour here. I have got one serving, that's 50 grams of rebuild strength. There. Bring in. I've got 15 grams of cocoa powder. I've sifted that. And that's going in. See, baking and cooking is just so easy once you get all your bits prepared. It's just when you have to start running around the kitchen in between. So try and get all your bits ready first, and then you can just go for it. Now, I'm going to blend this up, but first thing I need to do is also actually just add in one serving, it's 2 of these spoons, 28 grams of PDM, protein drink mix. There. Fantastic. And blend this up. I'm not putting in the baking powder just yet because I want to blend it a little bit more to grind up the orange pieces. Then I'll put the baking powder in, just towards the end. come back here. Okay, so now I'm going to add in a teaspoon of baking powder. There. Blend it up again for just about, say, 20-30 seconds, and then pop it into the tin. Scrape down the sides just a little bit, just get all those lovely orange zesty bits in. Just get those lovely zesty orange bits in. Pop it into the tin. In we go. Get every single bit out. And then straight away put it into the preheated oven. So that's an oven preheated to 180 degrees. Or if it's a fan oven, you can turn that down to 150 or 160 degrees. The cake will take about 20 to 25 minutes to bake. And it's baked when a skewer comes out of the center just clean. Okay. So while the cake is baking or cooling, what you want to do is make the frosting. First thing you need for this is an avocado, a nice ripe avocado, if possible. And this is going to bring a really gorgeous amount of creaminess to the frosting. Rich, buttery, creamy texture. Scoop the avocado. Oh, I love it when the avocado is perfect on the inside. It's not always the case. Put that into your now cleaned food processor. Add into that some orange juice. Juice of an orange. Now this is quite a big orange, so it might not need every single bit. I'm just going to blend up the avocado with the orange juice first. Scrape down the sides. There, like a very orangey guacamole. Good as a face mask too, with your Nora Batty headscarf. Great. Now put in the rest of the orange juice. There. And now I'm going to add in 1 serving of PDM. That's 2 of these spoons, 28 grams. And half a serving of Formula 1 chocolate flavour or smooth chocolate. There. And cocoa powder, 25 grams of cocoa powder. I might need a little bit more orange juice or water to bring this together, if it's a bit too thick. No, that's good. I think I don't need any water actually. Sometimes you do. I find that the orange is a bit smaller, but this one's quite big, so yeah, that's good. There. I don't want to overblend this. If you overblend it, it can start to split, where it just gets a little bit warm in the mixer and split the mixture. Taste it. Yum. Okay. So now, once the cake is cooked, a skewer inserted into the center comes out clean. It's got a nice firm little spring in the center. I took it out of the tin, tipped it out of the tin, allowed it to sit for a few minutes, then cut the cake in half. I like to use a serrated bread knife actually for this. And I get 2 little cakes down. It's cooled at this point. Put 1 cake on top. And just a little bit of the frosting. Save the rest for the top. Do you know what you can do if you like? You can just put as much as you think you'll need for the top first. I think I'll need all of that. And then the remainder on the base. There. Okay. And then take your palette knife. Spread over. This could be good as a little, like a little chocolate moussey thing. Yep. Spread it all around like that. Cake number 2 on top. There. And spread that around. And you can just leave it on top if you like, or you can even go over the sides if you're feeling a little bit braver and just put the frosting around the edge. And actually putting the frosting around the edge will give the cake a bit of a longer shelf life, you know, because it locks in all the moisture. Like that. A little bit more. And I think that's nearly it. So then, this is a palette knife. This is really good for decorating cakes. It gives you a lovely, smooth finish. So you could just do a lovely swirled topping like that. Or you could do little strokes up and down like that. And there we go. There is Herbalife chocolate orange cake. I think I should cut a slice.